you know, other bike races, there's some other ones that can be harder, but there's so many eyes on you here. I was getting such great support from everyone and everybody at home that it's fantastic, but it was also adding pressure and expectation.
Just heard from Sam Bennett there. He talked about the pressure, and he won his first stage in the Tour de France. He's won everywhere else, but he talked about how the pressure is so much higher, and that makes it so much more difficult to win at the Tour de France. The Irishman has done it. He's won a stage in the Tour de France. He's ticked that off his list, and he's got the green jersey to boot along with that.
Maiden win for Sam Bennett. We are all very excited for him, but I think I would like to just back up and say I am so happy that the Tour de France is still happening today. It was very stressful, I think, for everybody involved after Monday's COVID testing. Nobody really knew what was going to come of the, roughly 600-person race caravan being tested. How are the riders feeling this morning? Was there a sense of relief out there on the roads?
Well, I tell you, a lot of the riders looked happy to be still racing because no one knew when they woke up Tuesday morning, this morning, whether or not they were going to come up positive. A lot of people are asymptomatic. You just don't know. So that was a relief, I think, for many. And, of course, the teams were hoping no one was going to have the double whammy within their team that would send the team out. So that was good news. We saw some staff members in Mitchelton and Ineos. And, of course, the big gun, the race director, Christian Prudhomme himself, test positive for coronavirus. And remember, he was with the Prince of Monaco. He was with the Prime Minister of France in the car all day. So really scary stuff to think about. And of course, we have a video on FloBikes about that. But yeah, we're living in scary times. Thankfully, the race is still going on, and we saw a fabulous but very stressful stage today into this island location here on the Atlantic. Winds are still kind of blowing a bit, but it's a lovely day.
Well, that's really good news for the race, for sure. Gregor, let's go back to the sprint. You talked to some of the teams on the lead out in the last 5K. It sounds like there was a bit of misdirection on some of the teams, which side of the road furniture they were choosing.
Yeah, of course, Dr. Kees Bol, the Dutchman for the Sunweb team, and he's looking so good every day, and every sprint's into a headwind. Every sprint, Sunweb winds it up. They are the sprint team here in this 2020 Tour de France, but Kees cannot pull it off, but chapeau, because he's doing a good job. Today it was Sam Bennett and, of course, Caleb Ewan up there at the front. Kees said, yeah, they knew the wind was going to be coming from either the one side or the other, but they made a mistake by going to the wrong side. They wanted to be on the side where they'd be protected by their rivals, but instead they were on the side where they were getting buffeted by the wind, and that's not where Kees wanted to be, to have a shot at winning a Tour de France. And it went, of course, to Sam Bennett. Of course, a lot of riders coming in, battered, bruised, scraped. I saw Nicholas Roche. We're hearing now, I just heard that perhaps Formulo has a fractured collarbone, could be out of the race. That's going to be hit to Pogacar if that's the case. The team's already lost Aru, and we know David De La Cruz is still recovering from his crash in stage one. Saw Nilson Powless come in, and he, of course, talked about all the road furniture. Of course, team captain, team boss, Jonathan Botters was tweeting about that there as the stage was unrolling, Alex Michael.
Yeah, another very stressful day at the Tour. So far, very, very few straightforward days. Today it looked like it was a sprint day, but the story is there was so much road furniture, that constant nagging threat of crosswinds blowing the race apart. Everybody on the edge of their seats for all 170K. Alex, I think it's time to get into the show.